Welcome! It's the Glitter Boon Girls Show. And back with you is Robbie-Ann McPherson over here in Buffalo on the west. No, wait, where am I? I'm on the East Coast.
You're on the East Coast, my friend. And I'm Amy Asbury on the East. Just kidding, the West Coast.
We don't know where we are.
Who knows?
Anyway,
where are we?
No. So we are so thrilled to be making new episodes, which today, should we just get right into the
always
delicious topic today? And women of a certain age are going to appreciate this because I think the kids today, they just, I don't know, it's different today, but we're going to talk about teen idols.
Yep. And you know what, Rob? I will say this. I don't know that it's different today. I think we're just not privy. I think when you hit a certain age and your hormones go crazy, whatever boy or man is right in front of you, you're still going to have that. I'm leaving it open to say that maybe it's not marketed the same.
Well,
or is it? Or is it?
This is my whole thing. It's okay.
Right.
It's the marketing. It's the fact that kids.
It's the marketing.
I hate to say kids today every 5 seconds, but they're more savvy, right? Like when I was 10 years old, I only had a certain level of sophistication and evolution, right?
Okay.
But because of the internet and there's my cat. My cats are gonna howl the whole time.
That's all right.
Because of the internet and the over sexualization and all this stuff. Back in the day when I was in love with, let's just call it out right now, Shaun Cassidy, it was this innocent thing, right? It was like, I was 10. I think at the time he was probably 18 or something. But it was pure. It was innocent. It was this strange, beautiful love thing that I didn't quite understand, except I knew that I had to have every picture. I listened to his music 24/7. Whenever he was on TV, I was glued to it. Like I had to peel my eyeballs off when he was over, and I cried. When I saw him live, along with 17,000 screaming girls at Memorial Auditorium, April 10th, 1978.
How old were you?
I was 10.
Oh, you were 10?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Big one.
And my best friend Karen and I went. Shout out Karen. And our mothers were mortified. They had I don't know, they were just what are we doing here? Because the whole thing was just a sea of screaming girls. I don't know what it was like for him to be singing to that or trying to, but whatever.
Right.
So I had a thing on my calendar. I counted down the days from when we got the tickets. And then after, I drew a sad face with tears on it for 2 months. Because I was so sad that the concert was over. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was in the same room that he was in. It was it was all these crazy feelings that I never felt before, right? So what I wonder, though, is I figure Justin Bieber is probably today's Shaun Cassidy in a way, right?
That was 10 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah,
Justin Bieber.
Well, yeah, okay. Bieber's still got a career though.
He does, but as far as
making longevity out of it.
Idol, I don't know who the new teen idol is right now, but I know in the last 5 years it's Shawn Mendes, and then there's the K-pop BTS, and the girls are going crazy over them. I don't know who it is today, but I do know that there's always somebody turning 10, and there's always somebody first setting eyes on their first crush. And I know they still have magazines. Bop and Tiger Beat are still out.
But isn't it
maybe
different
it's the
though?
same feeling.
Look at, I think there's another piece of it too, though, is back in the day, Shaun Cassidy did not have his whole life plastered everywhere, right? So I didn't know things about Shaun Cassidy that I wasn't supposed to know as a 10-year-old fan. But where, for Justin Bieber, for example, I mean, every single,
Hmm.
mistake the kid makes,
Yes.
it's plastered everywhere, and who knows what's true and what's not, but every seedy little thing that, the Daily
Hmm.
Mail wants to say or whatever, it's just, I feel like there's a lot more information out now and a lot more negative context. For me,
Yes.
it was just these smiling, you know, handsome pictures in Tiger Beat, and it was only what they made up or, whatever, like Shaun's favorite colors, like that
It
kind
was
of stuff.
so fake and it was so cute in a way because I mean I looked at the old ones. In my day it was like John Taylor, it was Duran Duran mostly in those magazines, but and then after that it was like Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Uh
Hold up a second. You said
hmm.
John Taylor, and I got the vapors.
Yeah, I know. I
Oh my
know.
gosh. Can we just give a shout out? Okay.
And we
'Cause
did
I don't
do
think
a show
anybody's
on
over
Duran
him yet.
Duran, so I don't need to go back through it, but
No.
I recall looking at it was so bubblegum, their favorite color. Like, why do I
Right,
really need
right.
to know? And you know that they were like, I don't know. Like they don't
Right, make
care,
something up. They probably didn't even know the article was there. It was like
right?
some publicist, like this fat guy with a cigar, going, I don't know, what is it, blue? Like
And
making
then
up
like the
stuff.
Leif Garrett and all those Tiger Beat ones,
Oh,
it's just
leaf.
it was just oh, it's Leif Garrett. I'm sorry. It's just really
No, I think it's
cute.
Leif.
Leif Garrett.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Leif.
I thought it was just kind of cute that it was like he loves puppies and ice cream.
Right, right.
They made it I think the packaging was more innocent in the Tiger Beat and Bop eras. I think
Right.
the packaging was very
But it's
loves baby
because
soft.
it could be more innocent. They
Hmm.
didn't have the the sort of barracuda thing that circles celebrities now, right? Where I mean, I'm imagining if Shaun, for example,
Hmm.
were, if he were a teen idol now in the age of the internet and everything else, every single time he hooked up with some groupie or who knows what. I mean, I'm not saying he did, I don't know.
Of course,
But,
of course.
I'm going to assume that because he was a rock star that he probably enjoyed
Sure,
his rock stardom. But
sure.
every single step he made would have been like all over, Perez Hilton or all these blogs and stuff. Whereas back then there was such a shield, and
Very much so.
yeah, and you just didn't have the 24-hour news cycle and all that stuff. So I think it was probably easier for marketing to keep it innocent. But I mean, just everything today is so, look at the stuff that they show. I mean, there's so many controversial things and over sexualization of like preteen girls and all that. I think those kinds of things kind of layer on and then like influence the poor little girls. I mean, they're supposed to be innocent. They're supposed to be not aware of this, that, and the other. But how can they not be with the culture today, right? And then here comes, Justin Bieber, who's like, "Hey, I'm a pop star," and then he becomes this like lightning rod for all this controversy, and the kids. I'm guessing he's probably just trying to get his life together, right? Because he's young. They're
He's
so
married
young.
now. He's actually married now, and he's like a man now.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he
he's a kid
still
to
is.
me because I'm an old lady.
He's still. People are still interested in his life, and there are new. I feel like pop stars that have taken the place every couple of years. There's new ones that come out, and we aren't paying attention, so we don't care. I mean, we do because I think we're still interested in pop culture,
Yeah.
but I think the marketing is very different, and I think it's also up to the user. I will call it a user because this is a tech age. It's your brain. Like you looked at Shaun Cassidy in hearts. You had cartoon hearts in your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could have looked at him at 13 and looked at something completely different. Like, wow, his pants are really tight. Oh, he's sweating, and had a totally different, I'm serious, like
Yeah.
idea
No.
because
You're
of your
right.
age.
You're right.
Because of
You're
your
right.
age and if your hormones have kicked in or not, you're going to look at the
Yeah.
same picture completely different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I was
You're right.
10,
I'm looking at him
right.
differently than I looked at John Taylor because John
Okay.
Taylor, I was older.
You were a little bit
And
older, and
yeah, and I
so
understood a little bit more. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
it's kind of like the user. It's like what has puberty markers have been set off in the person already. Like, what's their brain? Where's your brain at when you first noticed this teen idol?
Mhm.
Because I looked at my friend Tamar was in love with Shaun Cassidy. We were only like 5.
I'm gonna fight Tamar. That's it.
We played
Tamar and I are gonna
house,
throw down.
and she said, "My husband is Shaun Cassidy," and she gave me John Travolta. Anyway, and then we played house, and those were our husbands.
Well,
You
John
know,
Travolta,
it
he
was like
was
Welcome Back,
so
Kotter. It was like
pretty.
those
Oh my
days.
God. Yeah.
But I didn't look at guys like that at that time. I was like, ah. And I remember, I didn't really think anybody. My sister was in love with Robin from Batman and Robin. Don't know what that's about.
Burt Ward?
But yeah, Burt Ward.
Huh.
Um, I
That's a
didn't
good
think
one.
anybody was cute up until, Little House on the Prairie. You guys know I love Little House. But I liked Albert, and a couple of people on there. And then Silver Spoons. I started getting a little older. I thought, oh, look at that Jason Bateman. Look at that Ricky Schroeder. And then I think about 12, 11, 12. For me, I saw Top Gun, and it wasn't a cute teen idol in bell bottoms. It was like this guy, a full-grown man.
Yeah,
But
like a
that's
sweaty
it when
man
I was
playing
12.
volleyball on the beach.
And it was very overwhelming. It wasn't cute, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't presented with something cute, and that was just how it was that year. But when I hit that age of where, I'm trying to think who was my teen idol. The first crush I had where I cried and I felt overwhelmed was Tom Cruise in Top Gun, and just before that, Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. He had like a puffer vest and he was on a skateboard, and I thought, oh wow, he's really cute. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, was he though?
Oh,
But it's your
he totally was.
age.
Wait, so how old were you when you saw Back to the Future? Because Back to the
I
Future
believe
was
I was
before Top
11.
Gun. Okay,
I was
so
11, and it dawned on me like, okay, wow, what would it be like to kiss that guy? Oh my God, kiss, and I'd freak out, and my brain would just go in this overload. And he wasn't marketed as a teen idol, really, except for maybe with Family Ties, but I felt overwhelmed. I didn't feel hearts. I felt like it was too much on my system.
yeah, okay. So I got to break that down a little bit because
Yes.
I think there are also differences when the teen idol is a musician.
Okay.
You know, so when you have only just an actor like Michael J. Fox, Light of Day notwithstanding, or his guitar parts in Back to the Future. But basically he was a TV star, right, and then a movie star. I think it's a little different when you throw music in the mix. And I'll go back to Shaun. I really fell in love with his music.
Hmm.
That's what kind of made me spark to him. I also had a sort of simultaneous first crush on Mark Hamill when he was Luke Skywalker, right?
Of
Shout out,
course,
I mean, shout out to both of these guys. Like they're both
of
still,
course.
working in the industry and turning out creative stuff. Oh, and we have to talk about Sean's new wine later.
Oh, new wine. Okay.
Yes, he's like what do they call him? Vintner? Um,
Oh.
or maybe he just stuck his name on it. I don't know. Either way, we'll talk
Hmm.
about it. But when you add the music to it, I listened to Sean's music, and it's like another form of drug delivery, right?
Hmm.
It's another, another way
The
to kind of,
audio.
yeah, to vibe on it. And I'm so into music anyway, so
Mhm.
for me, that was like glue. And
Yes.
whereas my crush on Mark Hamill kind of waned over the years, although we still totally heart him, my crush on Shaun Cassidy, I think probably somewhere deep in my inner child, it's probably still there,
Uh-huh.
like 40 odd years later. And um, I already discussed in a prior episode when I saw him in Whole Foods when I was like 33, and the poor guy's just buying like, I don't know, I think it was Passover or Easter or something. He was buying like flowers and some stuff, and
Aw,
he was wearing a suit, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to Shirley's house. And I,
he
I
was
just,
wearing a
I was
suit.
so
What a nice
starstruck and
catch.
stupid. Like, how does that
I'm
happen?
sorry.
All
Rob,
those
I
years
gotta say
later.
this. You have lived in Los Angeles, and there were so many times you were not starstruck that I
Right.
allow you to be starstruck over Shaun
Well,
Cassidy.
and that's my point.
I
Like,
give you permission.
I run into a bazillion stars, and no offense
I
to all
love
these
it.
great artists. I mean, I was squished up next to Brad Pitt in a
I
bar.
remember we talked about it. We
Right.
talked about it. Mm.
And and he's cute and adorable and everything, but I was not like
Uh-huh.
Shaun? No. I was so dumbfounded. I ran behind this big wall display of matzo ball crackers, and I was like, I'm calling my friend Karen that I went to the show
Mhm.
with, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. She's like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, Shaun Cassidy is in Whole Foods, and she's like, what? Oh my God. Like, we're grown women, right? And here's my favorite part of all this
Mhm.
analysis of Shaun anyway, is he went on a tour last year.
Oh.
In 2019, he came out on the road and did a bunch of like really nice venues like casinos and theaters and stuff. And he had the best, it was like a storyteller kind of show, right? And he was
How
so,
intimate.
oh, it was total intimate, an intimate evening with. And he had a great little band with him, and he played all those old songs that I still listen to on my iPod right next to everything else. But I loved the musical performances. Between each one, he told a little story about the songs. He did speak of David, rest his soul. And it
Yes.
was just such a wonderful show. And my favorite line, he was talking, of course, the whole place was filled with women of a certain age, right? I mean,
Sure,
all of
sure.
us like devotees from the day.
Hmm.
And some of them, I have to say, were a little bit scary.
Okay.
I was sitting near
Okay.
a few that I was ready to wave security over because, I mean,
To
I'm,
each his own, to each his own,
yeah,
her
like
own.
I'm quite aware that A, I don't know the man, B,
It's corny
yeah,
and cute.
exactly. Like,
That's okay.
but there's some women, I don't know, they might not
All right.
be that in touch with reality. But anyway,
Maybe they were just buzzed. They could have just been drunk.
I don't think so. There were a
No?
lot of
Okay.
those, which was cute.
Okay.
But no, there were a couple around me that, Kilroy really wants to participate in
Oh.
today's podcast. But no, he was saying, I haven't come out to play
Hmm.
music in 40 years. And he said, I want to tell you, I was afraid. And everybody's like, oh, don't be afraid. Oh,
Interesting.
And then he goes, no, 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 no. It's
Yeah.
not that I was afraid of performing. I was afraid of you. And I
Interesting.
busted out laughing because I totally understood what he was saying. And he said that back in the day at the concerts,
Hmm.
we all had those little cameras with the little flash bulbs,
Of
the
course.
glass ones that would pop. And
Right. Of
and I guess
course.
the girls would throw them on the stage, and he remembers being pelted with these flash bulbs.
What an
Like,
odd
he told
thing.
all these great stories like that. So the greatest feeling to me as a former, um, googly eyed 10-year
Hmm.
old was, to me, it felt like I was kind of visiting a childhood friend that I never thought I would see again, and like,
Lovely.
yeah, and then here he
So
was.
lovely.
Yeah, and he was so great, and he looks great, and he sounded great. It was it was really comforting, and I was supposed to see him. He was coming around again, but then of course, 2020 kind of threw everybody for a loop.
Certainly.
Yeah. But now he's like a TV producer and writer, and he writes for that hospital show, New Amsterdam. That's like his
Mm.
show, and he just put out this wine. Get ready. Are you ready for the wine? The name of the
I
wine?
am. Tell me.
My First Crush. Oh my God.
Adorable.
Isn't that cute?
Adorable.
Right? So, everyone listening, go to Shaun Cassidy's Instagram page. And by the way, he did not pay us. He doesn't even know us.
Of course not.
He's probably got some security detail now
So I
out
have a
on me.
question for you. I have a question for you. So if somebody's listening to this and, they haven't seen Shaun Cassidy or they're going to Google him after this, describe to us what does he look like? Or what did he look like
Oh, he
back in the
looks,
day?
back in the day, he was basically almost a boy when he
So he
first
had like
became
I just recall
famous.
he had feathered hair. So
Yes.
tell us about the hair. What did he look like?
Well, he looks modern now. Like he looks like
When he's a
a.
kid, when he was a teen idol though, describe him to the audience as a teen idol. What did he look like?
Oh man, now I'm gonna get all like here come the cartoon hearts. So he was
Hmm.
real thin like most teen idols,
Okay.
um, and just the big brown doe eyes, like he had
Okay.
these beautiful eyes and these lashes for days, and then he had like the feathered do, which was the thing in the
So
day.
it was kind of long and it feathered straight back, kind of
Yeah,
it
it was
parted down the
not.
middle.
But let's clarify, it was
Okay.
not a mullet.
No, no,
He
no,
did
no.
not sport a mullet. So
No.
I want to just put that out there.
I
Um,
never thought he did.
he just had the parted on the side, feathered back type deal,
Hmm.
and he he was fresh faced. I guess that's the thing I keep thinking of. He had this
Fresh
big
face.
smile, and he just was so cute and just
It's
so
cute.
like crush worthy. It's that
And
kind of
is
thing.
this my imagination, or did he have at some point some tight white pants on?
Oh yeah, in his
Okay.
concert, he
And
wore
like a
tight white
vest or
satin
something?
pants. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and he used to have like a dark vest. He kind of
Uh-huh.
rocked that look a little bit. And I remember he peeled off the pants and he had
Wow.
pants underneath. Like that's how thin
Oh,
he was, right?
wow.
Yeah, I mean they're,
Wait, what? Wait, well, hold on a second. Back up a second. He peeled off his pants
yeah.
on stage?
Yeah, it was like, it was like a part of the act. Like he, peeled
Oh,
off
part
the
of the act, and
pants.
he had
Yeah,
pants
and then there
like
were pants
hey, I'm gonna
underneath.
take off my pants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Maybe
but
it went over your head at that
not
time.
not in a gross way.
Okay.
Yeah, and like his appeal was very, it was very bubblegum,
Very.
but not like I can only contrast it with, Kiss came out around the same time, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I was 10 when at the peak of my Shaun uh, crush, and Kiss, I remember they scared me.
Well, they were very scary. One
They
of them
were
was a demon. One was a very sexualized star child, and there was the cat. It was scary.
Yeah, but it was they were men, right?
And they
They
had
had the
hairy
hairy
chests, and they were
chests
their
and
tongues were
yeah, and it was like
ah
rock and
gross.
roll and I was made for loving you,
They're
baby, and
disgusting.
like they kind of grabbed you by the back of the hair. It's I mean, I won't go there. But I was scared of them. And then as
Of
I got a little
course.
bit older, I remember watching Kiss on TV once and like you were
Phantom of the Park.
describing,
Is it where they were at the amusement park? That remember that
oh, the
special
Phantom of the Park?
Phantom
No,
of the Park?
it wasn't
Okay.
that. It was like a live show or
Mm.
something. And I saw, and here's Paul Stanley, Star Child, with his
Starch.
his chest hair, and he's
Right.
all like
It's all
doing
grinding.
that. Yeah, yeah.
It's all
He's
humping
like
the mic
Mr.
stand. You're
Bump
like,
and
oh,
Grindy. Yeah, and the hair and everything. And I remember like feeling this crazy. I was like, what was that? It's like it's
interesting.
like you were saying, like when you grow up, you start to change.
Something more hit you. Of
Right. That's why I was trying to explain about
course.
Shaun. Like Shaun appealed to the sweet, innocent type of thing, right? But then, I'm looking at Paul Stanley and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, and I remember my dad, he's watching me watch Kiss. And
Ooh.
dad's like, "You like those guys?" And I'm like, "No. No, I don't. I don't like those guys." You know, I was really embarrassed because I was totally like, "Wow, what is that? I
You
don't know
know
what
who
that
hit me
is."
like that? It was I'm sure I've discussed George Michael, but Wham, not the corny dolphin shorts Wham, but when Wham did Edge of Heaven. It was 1986,
Oh.
and they were wearing leather fringe jackets, and their hair was short, and it was in black and white, and they were like shaking their asses, and their hair was highlighted, and they were really tan.
Yeah. Was George showing his midriff?
Whoa. No, that was a Club Tropicana, drinks up
Oh,
for
right, right, right.
me.
Okay, okay.
No, that too. But when they yeah, it hit me like again, overwhelmed with sexuality. Like, oh wow, wow, wow. Wait a second. What are these guys saying right now? Am I hearing? I felt almost like I wanted to run and hide. It was so crazy. Like, what are they saying? What are they talking about? No, it can't be. But I felt overwhelmed with my own reaction was just whoa, their eyes and and then the music to it also.
Let's push into our 30s.
Okay.
What happens to that teen idol thing? Like,
You get control over your impulses is what happens, I believe. I believe you, when you're a kid, I want candy, I want candy, I want candy. I want that toy, I want that toy. And you slowly through your teen years learn to control your impulses,
yeah,
hopefully. So in
hopefully.
your head, except for those women at the Shaun Cassidy concert,
Well,
so in
except
your
for me in
head,
Whole Foods,
you
obviously.
might be thinking,
I lost my
wow,
shit.
that guy is wildly sexual and attractive, but you're not going to, act like a complete maniac because you've learned to control your impulses, I think. Um,
But don't you also think that the your frontal lobe is now fully developed, right? So you have
yes.
reasoning and hopefully and you now understand a little bit more about the realities of the world and how fake Tiger Beat is and was and and that kind of stuff. So you might look at a certain actor or rock star and be like, "Oh, damn, he's hot." But in the
Right.
back of your mind, you also know he's also human. Like,
Right.
he's probably
Except
uh,
for John Taylor. And I still
John
always
Taylor rises
found,
above all.
I always found Wham, both Andrew and George in some of those videos. I look at him again and I think, and my friend Kim makes fun of me because George Michael, remember that song Monkey? Why
Oh
can't
yeah,
you do
yeah.
that? I go, look at
Why
him. He's
can't you set
so
your monkey
attractive.
free?
His eyes are staring right at. She's like, you're out of your mind. He's wearing suspenders and like a big hat. She's like, you're an idiot. I go, no, I still think he's super attractive in
Well,
that video
but
because
he
he's
was
staring at
absolutely
us.
gorgeous. Yeah, he
Okay, I
was
thought it was
absolute.
insane.
No, he was beautiful in that video.
Beautiful, right? In
That
that
whole
video.
Faith era, he was really really gorgeous, and even the Freedom, what was that? Freedom 90, that album.
Yeah, but just the sound of his voice kind of hit me in some certain spot.
Yeah,
And it linked up my audio. The sound of it linked
right.
up with the visual, and it was like a complete glitter boom in my head. I was like, whoa, what is happening? But also, I was thinking this is completely a different note to this. When I look at Shaun Cassidy in those white pants and the feathered hair, I don't see the real growling sexual Greek guy as George Michael. I see almost an androgynous Christy McNichol or Tatum O'Neal. They're almost interchangeable. Their bodies and their hair, like they're not. It's just that 70s.
Yeah, well, they were all young teenagers, and they were all
Yes,
skinny, and they had
lanky and
similar
like
similar features. Beautiful eyes, and
yes,
I hear that. I see a lot in the real young Shaun Cassidy. I see a lot of that kind of rock androgyny. But I think
yes,
I think that's also with the boys in the 70s. That was also part of the music thing, like the music
very
teen idols.
interesting.
They all had that androgynous thing,
Hmm.
except for Kiss. I mean, they may have had long hair, but Kiss made no bones about the fact that their act was, all man.
And so was it fun to feel a little scared and look at Kiss and kind of
Oh
be like,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah. The
uh-huh.
fun. That's
That's
what I
how it
mean.
felt kind of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
recall.
The fun was like it was like danger, like
Hmm.
it was kind of crazy. And I think
Right.
the music also fed into that because of the types of songs they sang and that crazy stage show. I mean, folks, if you have never seen Kiss, I don't know. Have they stopped? I don't know if they actually finally
They
stopped
always come
touring,
back. They always
but
come back.
yeah, they are a absolute stellar concert. I mean, it's crazy. They're so great on stage, and all that energy they have. It's this mixture of like the rock and and the demon and the lore and the theatrics and the makeup and pyro, and it's just crazy. So much fun.
We've
So much
dressed
fun.
up as them many times on many different Halloweens out here in LA, and it's always been great fun. They
Which one
definitely
were you?
are. I was always Peter Chris.
Isn't he your favorite though? He was always my favorite.
He was my favorite. And also everybody always fought over being Paul Stanley, and I was like, I don't care.
Oh no, I would have picked Peter Chris. Why? A, he was the cat,
Yeah, he was a cat.
and
Maybe that's
B,
why.
he sang my two favorite Kiss songs,
Yes,
which
of
is
course.
Beth and Hard Luck Woman.
I think what is my favorite Kiss song? I'm gonna say Detroit Rock City. I don't remember. I got to think about it.
Yeah, think
I
long
don't
and hard
remember.
about that because
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
that's a
But they
tough
were
one.
definitely teen idols of a different sort. If there is a scale, I mean, the ends of the scale are the things you've mentioned. I'm gonna go ahead and say Shaun Cassidy is at the very innocent end. And even the songs, a lot of covers, Big Spender and the Do Run Run Run. It wasn't sexual to me at
Right.
least.
Right. It
And
was
then the
it was like
kiss was like,
love. It was
gosh,
it was love. It wasn't sex, you
who's
know.
who's sang Puppy Love? Was it like Donny Osmond or
That was
something?
Donny Osmond, yeah. And they call it puppy love. Okay, now wait. Let's
What?
discuss the Osmonds. The
Okay,
Osmonds, I think, are a very important um, part of this whole teen idol era in the
okay.
70s. Okay, so you have Donnie, handsome, and
Was he
he
though?
sings. Oh yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
I thought Donnie was handsome. See, but you're reacting to the whole. I mean, what's not handsome about it? Like he's got beautiful hair. He's a beautiful
I
smile.
just thought he looked funky. He was not my cup of tea. I actually liked Marie, and I'm straight. Her hair was so pretty, and she was like a doll. So I liked Marie way more. And speaking of dolls, I had the Marie doll.
Stop.
And my sister, I was so angry with her. My grandmother had us at Kmart. Sorry for the sidebar. Donnie and Marie dolls. They were in these disco. It was like purple, pink, magenta. These ombre
Yeah, and they came
outfits.
with microphones, right? Like
Came
little
with
microphones.
microphones. My sister, I was like, I want Marie. You get Donnie. She's like, she never stood up to me. Normally she'd be like, fine, I'll get the crappy one. Nope. I want Marie also. My head swiveled. Well, who's gonna be Donnie? She's like, I don't know. So we both got Marie, and I was furious. And I forced her to change her doll's name to Maria. So it was Maria and Marie. And then, anyway, the dolls were so hateful and unattractive compared to Barbie. They didn't do a good job making the doll as beautiful as Marie. So
Yeah,
we
I
ended up
I
cutting
agree.
their hair into mohawks, and they were like the villains, like the
Yeah.
comic relief. Anyway, side note.
Marie,
She was
she
gorgeous.
was absolute. She still is
She
stunning.
still is.
I think I disagree with you. I think Donnie was and is
And
super
Donnie, God
handsome,
love
beautiful
him. I,
guy.
I apologize, but I have to be honest. He just didn't do it for me. Clearly, I was out of my mind because everyone else loved him. But so what was now there was a show, right? Donnie and Marie's show.
Oh yeah, the
And what was
Donnie
it, a
and Marie
variety
show was
show?
on Fridays,
Okay.
Friday nights. It was appointment TV for me.
Okay.
And when I see, you can look up stuff on YouTube, which I highly encourage everybody. Go
Certainly.
to you. Well, first go to Instagram, find Shaun Cassidy, the official Shaun Cassidy, get his wine, okay?
All
Because
right.
we you know, I
Yes.
just think that's so cool. My first crush. I mean, how cool is that?
So cute.
Second, go to YouTube and search old Donnie and Marie variety show clips because these kids,
Hmm.
they must have worked like 48 hours a day to put these shows together. If you watch some of these variety shows, and I remember pretty clearly many of them, especially the one with Andy Gibb, they had all these musical numbers, they had dancing numbers, they had skits and all this stuff. They were basically putting together, an entire hour-long variety show every week. And I'm sure that some things were pre-recorded, and I'm sure they didn't like do it all in 4 days or whatever. But the amount of work that went into what those two had to do and nail down in order to produce those shows. I mean, honestly, they must have had no lives for that
How
whole time.
old do you think they were at the time? What was their age
Well, if I
approximately?
recall, should we look it up? If I recall, Marie was like 17 or something,
How much
16, and
younger
Donnie
was
wasn't
she
much
then?
older.
A couple years
Um,
apart?
let's see.
So did they wear kind of
Donnie and
matching
Marie show.
outfits?
Hold on, I'm asking Google. Donnie and
Now,
Marie show.
explain to us what it looked like. Did they wear like the matching outfit, like the boy girl matching outfits, or just
Well,
complementary outfits?
they wore complementary outfits and
Like
but
what was one of
costumes.
them?
Well, they would have
Like
like,
sparkly and stuff?
oh yeah, it was full on Vegas. It was
How
like,
cute.
every song it had a theme and the costume matched the theme. Like if it was a country song, they were countrified,
Fun.
because that was the theme, right? I'm a little bit country and
That's
I'm
the
a little
only
bit
one I
rock
know.
and roll.
It's the only
I'm a
one I
little
know.
bit of Memphis
So
and Nashville.
so what was their on those variety shows there's kind of a set that they return to at the end and that they start out with. What was their look? Like what was the color scheme? What did it look like on their show?
The color schemes changed. It was always the
Oh,
big stage. Like they
big
would come to,
stage.
to, to center stage. Okay, now here's a little blurb
Okay.
from the world's authority on everything, Wikipedia. Okay, so here's what Wikipedia says.
By the
Donnie and
way, they want
Marie,
you to donate $2.46. Go on, carry on.
click, clear, X. Donny and Marie is an American variety show that aired on ABC from November 1975 to
Mm.
May 1979. The show
That's a long
starred,
time. Oh
I
my
know,
goodness.
this is what I'm saying. They must have had no lives. The show starred brother and sister pop duo Donny and Marie Osmond.
Uh-huh.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Marie and her 1973 hit, Paper Roses Imitate. She was so adorable. Oh my God. How can anyone not love Donny and Marie? So they were offered this weekly show
Okay.
by ABC TV president Fred Silverman, who basically he
Wow.
was like
That's
Mr.
big.
TV,
Of
right? And
course.
him and Aaron Spelling in the 70s. So he
Certainly.
had Donny and Marie co-host a week on the Mike Douglas show.
Wow.
And apparently they'd made a bunch of oldies remakes, records. Make the world go away. Oh, Donny and Marie,
Hmm.
18 and 16 years old
16.
in
Well, they were
1975.
showbiz. They were showbiz folk,
I
you
know,
know.
but still, like, that is a heavy
It's
lift.
considerable. It's considerable.
That is a super heavy lift for
Hmm.
18 and 16-year-old to carry an hour-long variety show once a week.
So
Like,
I have a very important question
yeah.
because my memory does not serve me. Were there microphones, those little tiny little baby ball microphones, those 70s
No, you mean
ones?
like the Gene
Oh,
Rayburn game show
yeah,
microphone?
Gene Rayburn.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
They had the other 70s. They had the sort of aerodynamic white one. I don't know. It was like a
I really
smooth
wonder what that's
aerodynamic
what I
thing with the big antenna out the bottom. Yeah, they were.
how
They had those, and they were always white. They
hmm.
had all these white microphones. In fact, didn't the dolls come with white mics?
Please, I probably lost that microphone the second I opened the box. It just fell out the bottom and I just kept on going.
I was so crazy about maintaining my accessories. I just want to point out, by the way, that I'm looking at the list of guest stars on the Donny and Marie show.
Right. So what is the strangest one?
Hundreds. I'm not
Well,
joking.
it's
The
like 4 or
list,
5 years.
you can
What's the
scroll to
craziest
scroll.
guess?
But see, this is my point. Every one of these guests, they had to rehearse something. They had to, do like, I mean, okay, I'm scrolling through
Yeah,
here.
but are
Lots of
these the
usual
same guests
suspects.
that are all on Love Boat? Don't you feel like there was a lot of this
Shaun
whole
Cassidy was never on the Donny and Marie
what?
show. Okay, if I ever had a chance to talk to Shaun Cassidy, which I'm sure
Huh.
his security people would never allow,
All
but
right.
if I ever did,
Is he married?
yes. In fact, he has a beautiful wife and beautiful children. He shares a lot about them on Instagram. Just
Okay.
a beautiful family, and he has kids from previous marriages. I don't know how many other previous
Well,
marriages he
as a
had, but
fan, do you feel jealous about that
no,
secretly? Like he's
no,
married? Because I would.
no. When I was
Darn.
10, I did, but not now.
You
now,
really,
now I'm.
you
I
actually
wish
like,
him every
come on,
happiness.
you feel like happy, like, oh, he's married. You don't secretly like wish you could like give him a
No,
big
no,
kiss.
no. Honestly, I
So
don't.
mature.
I
Why are you so
totally
mature?
You know why? It's what I was saying before. It's because I am evolved. First of all, I'm, a woman of a certain age, right? So God help me if I'm looking at movie stars and I'm jealous of their of their
Yeah, but it's fun.
spouses.
Isn't it secretly like, darn it? You don't ever get the darn it feeling?
No, because you don't know them.
Not like a serious thing, but I look at John Taylor, I'm like, look at his wife, damn, she's lucky. I'm like,
Yeah, but maybe he's a jerk. I mean, we don't
care.
know. I'm not.
It's just fun.
I
It's
hate to
just
say
fun.
that because, like, I don't know. Maybe he's the nicest
No,
guy in
it's
the
fun.
world, but
Well, you're
maybe
just
he's not.
mature.
No, the reason is, as I was saying, when I did go to that show that Shaun
Yes.
Cassidy did in 2019, it was like seeing a childhood friend. It was
Okay.
weird, but you were so happy that their life had turned out great. It was
That
like
is lovely.
it was a
That's lovely.
strange feeling because it wasn't literally that. I mean, of course, I do not know him. I never knew him. You know what I mean? You know how that
Do
is.
you have a vibe off of him that he's a good person and that you admire
Certainly,
him?
certainly, he
Yes,
he
yes,
gives off that vibe. I mean,
yes.
Hollywood people can hide a lot, so who knows? But I'm going to choose to believe the vibe, and he
Sure.
just seems to have really built a wonderful life for himself and his family,
And he
and
was buying flowers at Whole Foods. He's got to be a good guy.
he was buying flowers for somebody.
Wait, what kind of flowers were there?
I don't remember it.
Was
If
it like a
I
spring mix or
Yeah,
something? A
yeah,
holiday
if I
mix?
recall, it was a nice bouquet of something. They
Well,
have
Whole Foods has
pretty
beautiful flowers,
flowers.
though.
Yeah, they
I
do. They have pretty flowers there. But okay, so I'm looking down the list here of these
Mhm.
guests. I think the strangest one has to be
So this is
Raymond Burr.
Donny and Marie, their variety show. You're looking at the list of guests, and who? Raymond Burr?
Yeah, Ironside.
Wait, who's
Yeah, or
that?
Perry Mason. What do you mean, who's
Oh,
that?
Perry
Yeah,
Mason.
Perry Mason.
Wait, what was he doing on there?
I don't know.
I wonder if he's. I wonder if they. Well, they couldn't all sing. 'Cause some of them weren't singers.
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm
What's that?
Googling Raymond Burr, Donny and Marie. Raymond Burr,
Hmm.
Donny and Marie.
That does sound a little strange.
Oh my God. Episode 7.
Okay.
Oh, look at them. They're so cute. Look at Marie. She's
What were they
so
wearing?
pretty.
What did she wear?
Um, Marie has on a yellow jumpsuit with
Cute.
some kind of colorful phoenix design on it. And Donnie has a shirt and jeans, but his shirt matches the jumpsuit.
Wait, so yellow as in really bright yellow or
Yeah.
baby yellow?
No, super bright yellow.
And then what do you mean
Like
Phoenix design? What does
like
that
French's
mean?
mustard yellow. Like a bird, like a it almost looks like a Native American kind of bird, in flight or something.
On her shirt?
Yeah, it's on her shirt.
All right, I'm really gonna have to look that up because
Yeah,
that sounds
and
bizarre.
and Raymond Burr is wearing a straw like a boater hat, and I gotta find this. This is crazy. Oh, and Esther Roll from Good
Of
Times.
course, of course.
Anytime you need a favor. Um, yeah, let's see if it gives us a clue here. Oops, I just hit my mic with my glasses. Donny and Marie welcome guests Raymond Burr, Esther Roll, and Paul Lind. Remember
Oh,
Paul Lind?
yes.
Highlights include Raymond as Captain Long John Hook, an unemployed pirate. That's what he plays.
Wow.
Yeah. And Paul as author Carol Crump promoting his new book, Know Your Alps. That must have
Oh,
been a
for
funny
goodness sake.
skit. Yeah. Esther as a waitress trying to become a movie star, and a finale in which the entire cast salutes the elections. So this must
What
have been
election
76. Oh, yeah,
was it?
76.
Carter or something?
March 1976. So that
Wait,
was Ford and Carter, yeah.
yeah, Carter.
Um, oh, and they sang the medley was Fascinating Rhythm, I Got Rhythm, Clap Your Hands. I got rhythm.
So they kind of just went. It sounds like they did a lot of covers to these show tunes since it was a variety show.
Yeah, it was very, very Vegas. And I
So
mean that
that's
in a good way.
very teen idol-y then. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I feel like they figured out the vehicle. Okay, let's create a teen idol variety show, magazines, posters, and was there a lot of merchandising on the teen idols also? Like, of course, lunch boxes and whatnot.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking we should do a part 2 on this because we're out of
Okay.
time. We didn't even
Oh,
take a
for
break
goodness
and
sake.
we are out of time.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, we love talking about teen idols.
That's right. Okay, so let's close out and then we'll do part
Yes.
2. Does that work?
All right.
Okay. All right. So thank you everybody for listening. We so
Yes.
love and appreciate you guys. Hit us up on Twitter, Glitterbee Girls, and go get Shaun Cassidy's wine, My First Crush. How cool is that, right?
So cute.
And I think he lives in wine country or something in California too. I think he's like a really like a wine guy. So I don't think it's going to be crummy wine. I think it's going to be really good wine. Oh, there it goes.
Kilroy agrees.
No, that's McLickens.
McLickens agrees.
And then number 2, you have to Google on YouTube or search on YouTube the Donny and Marie show. And honestly, without the talent of those 2 kids, they had to have had a lot of talent to be able to pull that stuff off. You'll see. But we're gonna close off, and then we'll bring you part 2 of this whole teen idol discussion next time. Okay? Thank you everybody for listening. I'm author Robbie-Ann McPherson.
And I am author Amy Asbury.
Yay! Thank you so much, guys. We're the Glitter Boom Girls. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.